Guys, my name is Tony. If you are watching this later on, you just know that you are watching a live video. So you are watching Faith and Coffee Bean. I love to go live about 2 or 3 times a week. It's always kind of been my goal. Go live 2 or 3 times a week, just because I'm a crazy coffee geek, and the whole reason why I kind of started this channel was really just to kind of connect with y'all and kind of feel like more like part of the community. There's no other way to say it. Hey, Alexis, good morning. Good morning. Hope you're doing really well. Awesome, awesome. Thanks for joining me. Hey, guys, I thought that today would be a good day to pull out the Gemilai 3006, the Owl. The Owl. I also decided to replace the stock handle, which was really cool anyway, but with a wooden one. That's super cool. I'm digging it for sure. We are going to be trying out the first time with y'all live some new coffee. This is Bodum, and they are a coffee roaster out of Denmark. And this is their French roast. I honestly, guys, I kind of typically stray away from French roast because French roast tends to be like really obviously like a dark roast. But every now and then I just kind of get in that mood for that really good European, dark coffee. And I thought this would be a good thing to mess around with. I've never ordered from them before, so it's my first time ordering from them. So I'm definitely really excited. I did pull a shot just to open it up the other day, last night. And I was really super happy with the results. And I'm super excited to try it out on this machine. I tried it out on my Gemini 3006, the powerhouse. So, yeah, I thought, guys, it's time for me to swap up machines. I got a bunch of machines here, but this is by far one of my absolute favorite machines. So let me just kind of tell you this right now. If you are looking for a total budget machine that has all the bells and whistles, that's going to look really good, and is really a throwback to that Italian design, this thing is amazing. I cannot recommend it more. So right now it's sitting on Amazon for $3.99. If you're in the States, $3.99. I don't know what it is in the other markets, but definitely States $3.99. There are a ton of promotions that I see for this thing. They're constantly kind of doing this. I think during Prime Days it went down to like 320. So what this is, let me tell you about this because this is just one of my favorite ones, hands down. Okay, this thing has a E61 style group head, and there's actually heating elements that are built inside here. Now I say style because this isn't an E61, so this isn't like a heat exchanger or any of that, which would be really cool if it was. But it uses a thermal block, but really like seriously inside the group head area there's these just amazing heaters that heat this whole element, so you got to be really careful. So basically what that does is that it creates a really good uh, heat profile for your portafilter, so your portafilter will stay nice and hot. And basically what it does is it kind of mimics what you get on an E61. So if you are, a crazy espresso geek, something like this would be awesome. And for the price, I just can't beat it. It has an OPV. It has three-way solenoid. It basically everything you're going to need to have a really great experience. Even I have my Gemilai powerhouse right up here. Okay, and this one is that one that's kind of built off of like the Turnt Legato, or Turnt Legato is actually built off of it. Me Coffee Apex. That's actually been one of my absolute favorite machines. But I'm gonna tell you guys something. That's the version one, and the version one doesn't even have the OPV. So like if you wanted to go ahead and do a mod, you could actually mod that and add an OPV. But this one, which is cheaper, has an OPV. That's crazy. That's like kind of blows my mind. But anyway, guys, there's a lot of folks that really love this machine. And a lot of y'all who've been following pretty recently, you might have already had it. So this is kind of a lot of folks have been telling me I need to pop this machine back into the coffee corner. So let's go ahead, let's brew some coffee. And let me just, let's have some coffee. Let's have some fun. Good time hanging out here. Okay, guys, let's see here. Let's grab the coffee again. I might be saying this name wrong, but Bodum. coffee. They're out of Denmark. Denmark is one of the countries that per capita has some of the most coffee drinkers. So they definitely in that region are big coffee drinkers. Today I'm using an IMS 20 gram basket, so we're going to do 20 grams of coffee. Okay, 20 grams is a big boy shot. And it is, like I said, IMS. It's actually a competition basket. I'm using my Bottomless portafilter by iCap. So I love iCap, what they've been doing. I'm also going to be using my new iCap distributor, which is awesome. You guys haven't seen this before. It just came out. And my little stubby friend. I love this force impact tamper. Listen to this. It's just awesome. But I love the form factor. I love that it's kind of stubby like that. It just fits way better in the hand. I'm a big fan of that. So yeah, totally. Okay. And let's go ahead and do some RDT. And then what would y'all like me to see? Do you want me to put this thing in my conical grinder, the Hybrid G5, or the Chardor 64 millimeter flat burr? That's what I'm kind of leaning towards right now. Okay, let's give it a little shake. That's awesome. Thanks so much. I appreciate that comment, Alexis. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's do the Chardor grinder here. Let me get my camera angled. Cool. Yeah, this grinder is awesome. Y'all, I'm telling you, this one has been one of my favorite grinders. I've been using this like crazy. So this is a 64 millimeter burr grinder. And what's really neat about this is basically kind of similar to something like the DF64. And price-wise, guys, right now this is sitting at for about $160 on Amazon. Sometimes they do promotions. I've seen as low as $140. I picked up for $145 for this particular one. So this one is awesome. Okay. I've replaced the burrs in it. That's one of the coolest things about this grinder is that you can go ahead because it's at 64 millimeter. It kind of puts you into the area of getting some really cool gear. These are the stock burrs that come in it. So these are actually, I have multi-purpose, but these are not high uniformity. They're one that are Espresso Forward. I wish I could remember the name right now. But these are basically the burrs inside of this that come stock are kind of copies of a very similar pattern. And if y'all know, you know, I'll leave it at that. But it really does a great job. So yeah, hey Joe, yeah, this is the flat burr that I'm going to be doing on, and then maybe we'll try the conical. The conical I have over here is my Hybrid G5. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's get the beans in there. Let's have some fun. Let's make some coffee. Like I said, I pulled a shot yesterday. I did a big old 20-gram shot just to kind of try it out. And it was good, y'all. Like, if you're looking for a really... This is a French roast. This is a blend of Brazilian. The origin is Brazil and Guatemala, which is two of my favorite locations. I personally, I'm super partial to the coffees in the Americas. That tends to be the flavor profile I love the most, even when I go light roast. All right. So I have this at the equivalent stock. It would have been at 10. My true zero is 10 now. And right now I have it sitting right at about 11. That's what it would be if it was, my true zero is 0. Yeah, I have really been thinking about getting a DF64. Even though I have this, I just hear so many people talk about it. It's always kind of been one of my things that I really want to have on my list. I was actually thinking maybe even an 83 or even something crazy like a 54. Make sure that it's nice and clear. Ooh, cool. I'm reading your your comment there, Alexis. That's awesome. Okay. Yeah, I think we're pretty clear here. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's a cool grinder. I love this thing. It's just been awesome using it. Okay, so let's go ahead. Like I said, this unit is pretty light in comparison. It is. So I just kind of want to say this is one of the reasons why it's cheaper. Okay. So right here, this is, it doesn't feel quite like plastic, but I have a feeling it is. And on the outside right here, this is metal. Top up here, metal. This is like a plated, and right here is metal, but the bottom right here is plastic. It's very light. That's the one thing about this particular unit. It's light. That's not a bad thing. If you were in an RV or you had limited space like me, that actually is a pretty much a benefit. So, that's something to think about though. It as far as I never want to tell people, hey, this is, this is definitely consumer kitchen grade. It's not rated, for being inside a cafe, but it's going to really give you a lot of great tools. So that's something I kind of want to make sure to stay out there. And that's how, companies like that are able to get at that price point because it's a killer price. All right, so let's do some WDT. This is going to be a bigger shot. All right, cool. All right. Always kind of wonder what is the most popular way to do WDT? Like, what's the pattern? Is there some secret sauce that I'm missing? Trust me, if you know, give me the advice because I want to try it. All right, let's go ahead and hit this with the distributor. And this is that iCap gravity style distributor. It uses magnets, so it's kind of like a soft touch. I just look at the way this thing just flows. It's a double access. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and hit it with a force tamper. I just love that form factor. That awesome. Okay, and let's go ahead and grab puck screen. All right, cool. Just want to make sure I have one nice and clean. Let's go and load this bad boy up. Okay. Yeah, it's hard when you're getting into it, the financial price of some of the stuff. Guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm a spendthrift. I will literally do everything I can to get something as cheap as possible. I really hate spending money. I have problems with it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And if anyone has the budget to do certain things, that's why I like to kind of focus on budget ways of doing things. So this is a good budget setup for the bigger market. But even 150, that could be a lot of money, and it was. Even buying this was a lot for me. Okay, let's pull this first shot. I just realized I had it in steam mode. It's just going to take 1 sec to put this over. Oh, let's just go ahead and do it like that. There's that 3-way solenoid picking up here. Just give it 1 sec. What I really like about this scale I'm using is it actually will do the flow rate. So that is something pretty cool. This scale is like, I think $30 for that price to do flow rate's pretty awesome too. In the middle is the flow rate. Okay, cool. All right, guys. Yeah, sorry, I had to reset the machine. I forgot that I had on steam mode in the beginning. Yeah, this would be kind of like that spin style. There's quite a few different styles you can go with, for sure. Yeah, I'm not really. That's a great question, Joe. I am more of an espresso person, hands down. I typically, oh, let's go pull the shot. Uh, I typically don't do a lot of milk drinks. Okay, what in the world just happened? There we go. Oh, oh, oh. There we go. Bummer. I didn't have it in the right spot. Yeah, I think I went too fine on this one. Yeah, totally went too fine. Basically choked the machine. I haven't turned this machine on in a while, so that is probably more or less the issue. Yeah, that's not pretty. Let's just get that out of here. Yeah, way too fine. Earlier I did this on my Powerhouse Gemilai, and I actually went too coarse. It came through pretty fast, but yeah, this was way too fine. Okay. Sorry, guys. Again, live video here. Got my dogs barking. I think we might be getting a delivery. Yeah, look at that. That's terrible. Yeah, way too fine. Yeah, oh my goodness. Yeah, the one thing I'm gonna tell y'all is that when you're working with a machine like this, because it does have that heater inside and it is heating the group head, you get what's gonna happen is the whole thing's gonna get hot, and if you have a shot like that, your coffee's just gonna end up getting all nasty up on the top. So, that's kind of one of the things, though. When you're not using, like if you are using a thermoblock system that doesn't have that heating, you don't really get that much. But just remember to give it a nice clean, because that totally happens more often. Like the moment you leave it in there, it's going to start getting dry because it's nice and hot. So let's go ahead. We'll try this, and we'll go back to what I had before. That's awesome. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. I started off in college working at a cafe, and then I just got that coffee bug. And, last 20 some years, because it's been 20 years plus since I've been in college, I made a lot of coffee at home, but espresso wasn't something until about a year ago. Like after the pandemic, I was just like looking at a ton of Italian espresso machines. And my wife just was like, dude, what are you doing? Stop pining over this stuff. Just go get a machine. And then once you start getting into that deal, I bought my ECP on Facebook Marketplace for $40, and I got hooked. And what's hard is like you go to cafes and you go to the big boys, someone like Starbucks, and everything's automated. Those are super, super automated machines. It's not putting down any of the kids that work there, but you're just getting that generic, ultra generic way of coffee. It's almost the same thing as, I hate to say it, but it can be like the same thing as getting coffee in a gas station. I'm not putting it down. Trust me. I'm not a Starbucks hater in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying Starbucks in the 90s versus Starbucks now. What a difference, And you realize I can make this better at home myself. I could do this better, and I could do it cheaper, and I can enjoy it. And then you find the joys of finding maybe a local roaster or a local coffee house. Start connecting with people that are into the same mindset. Making coffee at home is definitely, I tell people, in my day job, I run a department, and every now and then, like I'm in a meeting, I'll start making coffee, and someone's like, really? I'm like, yeah. I basically have a little mini cafe in my office. But it's cool. You find people like y'all who are watching right now, and you're like, hey, there are fellow coffee geeks just like me who probably overthink about stuff about coffee, but that's okay. Hey, this is why I started the channel, guys. I had to prove to my wife I wasn't the only one. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so let's definitely, we're going to go coarser. I'm going to take it up about 5 spots because I think that was just way too much as far as, and even if this flows a little bit faster than I like, I'd rather have it do that than have it choke. And this is definitely, anytime I watch these live, or you guys watch these live videos, guys, just remember I'm always trying new beans, so I've got to dial in a lot. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this ground up. So the basket I'm using right here is an IMS 20-gram basket. So it is the one of the big shots. So IMS, this one's a competition grade. I got this from Very Barista on Amazon. They're awesome. They are the official distributor of IMS here in the United States. So they're really cool. Big fan of what they do. Okay. Yeah, I dig Very Barista. They're awesome. I've also gotten burrs from them, a whole lot of tools, a lot of cleaning stuff, a lot of coffee gear. And they're usually very reasonably priced and always doing promotions. Yeah, the Big Shot 20-gram. It's the concave bottom. Let's make sure we got it all. Nice and clear. There we go. Yeah, it's a great basket. It's definitely one of my favorite 20s. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I really haven't used too much paper filters. I just did a video where I was doing that. I actually really like a very big mouthfeel. I know that sounds crazy, and it's not. I don't knock anyone using paper filters. I don't know if y'all watched the video that Lance just did on the what is it, the OXO Rapid Brewer. Crazy cool. I really dig that. I like the out of the box thinking. I also do tend to make a bigger shot of espresso. I mean, I will try to stick to the proper ratios, especially when I do these live videos. But guys, first thing in the morning when I make coffee, I pull a big old sprawl over. So I'm do sometimes about 60 grams of water, and it's kind of somewhere between an Americano and an espresso shot. And I'll just I'll push it through. So I do like that kind of grittiness, but the filters are awesome too. I mean, if you're looking for really that clarity, that smooth taste, can't beat it. I really dig that taste more with my pour overs. I'll start fussing about that. Yeah, I'm always up to trying newer baskets. I actually have from iCap a basket that I got with this actual portafilter. It's pretty awesome. And that definitely has a different flow than this basket, like the IMS. So yeah, there's baskets are definitely a big part of that, for sure. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's try this one more time. And I hope this makes a difference right now. Get this a little cleaner on the edge. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm actually going to switch to a bigger cup just because I don't want to spill the chair. Okay, check this out here. Okay, so again, flow rate in the middle. Let's go ahead and do the single, and then I'll stop it manually. So this one definitely does have a pretty infusion you could set. Yeah, there we go. Again, a little bit faster than I like, but at least I'm getting some traction there. Now I could fine tune it a little bit more. The flow rate's not really picking up. That's kind of on. Okay, I'm gonna stop it right about 32. Oh, a little more than I wanted. 34.7. Okay. All right, guys. Whoa, watch it now. Didn't tell you to do that. All right. So let's give this a little taste. Again, this is the second time I'm tasting this coffee. If you are just catching me right now, this is a coffee out of Denmark. This is called Bodum. And I pulled a shot last night and I thought it was really tasty. Now, I typically will go medium to light. This is French roast, so definitely it's on the darker side. But every now and then I just get that taste for that good dark coffee. And I especially love the European roasters. It's just that taste, you know. Let's put it on the refractometer over here. Try this out. 13.69. So definitely firmly in the espresso range. 13.69. Nice and strong. Let's give it a taste. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. Oh, man, that is crazy strong. Definitely dark. The tasty notes on this thing, it's a rich, full body blend, earthy chocolate. They're not wrong. I'll tell you guys that. Definitely very strong, very rich. It's like a dark chocolate. Has a really good mouthfeel to it. Nice. I'm digging it. Kind of one of those people that if I'm going to have all of something, I kind of want to go to its fullest extreme. And definitely, this is French roast is definitely nice and dark. You know, I always say it's kind of similar to like almost like that city roast, you know. This is a blend of Brazilian and Guatemalan. And I'm definitely getting like a little bit of a nutty taste to it. I'm going to try to go ahead and go a tiny bit finer on this and see if I could just fine tune this just a tiny bit more and see how that works. You know, guys, like I said, it's been a while since I've fired up this machine. This is the Gemilai Owl, the 3067. And I definitely think that if you're looking for a budget home setup, this is by far one of the best machines you can get. I'm telling you right now, if you're looking for something that is really not going to break the bank, but be just a really good quality system, this one is awesome. It is a thermal block. It's a single thermal block, but the difference between going from your steam to pulling shots is super fast. I showed this in the beginning of the video, but if you want to see it, take a look on the steam power on this thing. Actually, let me go back in steam mode and take a look here. I replaced the handle. I put a portafilter handle on there and went with a big old wooden thing. Yeah, so it's building up right now. Okay, check this out. Lots of steam power. Very strong, big giant wand. It's definitely cool. Yeah, this is a great system, guys. I really love it. I've been a big fan. Like I said, I don't do a lot of milk drinks, but I have a lot of friends who do a lot of latte art and a lot of folks who follow the channel that really love this machine for doing latte art. It comes with a 2-hole and a 3-hole. So that is really cool. Check this out. So after it's already kind of been purged, nice strong steam. Yeah, just really cool. Really cool system. Yeah, I definitely, if you were looking for a budget machine that's going to kind of click all the boxes, this is definitely a good one. I love my Powerhouse because it has a boiler, and I've always been a fan, and if you could afford a boiler machine, great, awesome. It's definitely more that traditional style, what you're going to get in a cafe, the type of fill, but just this one Awesome. Hey, good question, Joe. So you said like Prasado level. Here's the thing. IMS is the competition grade that they usually have in the World Barista Championship. So and it's made in Italy. I personally have never used a Prasado. So I really can't say what would be the better. I would assume Prasado would be pretty amazing, and from what I've been hearing, so definitely awesome. It's one of those things I've yet to kind of mess around with. They do tend to be a little pricey, and I'm okay with that. And I've actually been really thinking about buying some of their stuff because it's so amazing, so crazy cool. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop this down a little bit. Okay, and we'll see how this works here. And I actually am going to swap out the baskets. Let me show you another one of the baskets here. Okay. Ooh. Nice and clear. So I really dig this portafilter. This is by iCap. I wish I had the better camera angle when I do lives. I'm actually going to look into seeing if I can get two cameras at once so I can start videoing some of the shots underneath the portafilter. But I like it because this has that cutout. So let's go. Ooh, this is so hot. Oh my goodness. Let's go ahead and swap this out. So this is kind of giving you comparison. So here's this one, and that's that IMS basket. This is the one that iCap does. And this is supposed to be a very high flow system. There's like a, oh goodness gracious. Gotta clean this one. Feel a little embarrassed here. I must have got a drop on it from something else. Okay. This one definitely has a high flow rate. It has a mesh bottom that sits above the holes that the espresso comes out. And I have noticed this one definitely, it has the flow rate is way more, it's just way faster than even the IMS. Matter of fact, hey, I'll go ahead and show you guys right now just so you can kind of see the difference. Okay. And I am going to try to go, I had changed, ooh, it's so hot. I had changed the grind setting a little bit, but I'm gonna keep it where I was just about to put it. We'll try it on this basket. Again, guys, baskets are a huge variable. So baskets, beans, grind size, there's so many different variables. Every now and then I get someone who reaches out to me and they're like, hey, I just followed your recipe or I followed someone else's recipe and I didn't get the same results. And they'll be on the exact same style of machine that I have, or literally the exact same machine. There are so many variables, guys. So one thing I want to encourage everybody is just remember, coffee is not an exact science. There's so many different things that could change between your roast. I've literally cut roast from the same roasters that are months apart, and they just completely operate different. And that's okay, because, it's all about the, I mean, it's not just the terroir as far as where a coffee's grown, but it could be the climate of that particular season. There's so many different variables. And then you think about, there's so many different ways coffee can be processed. If you're kind of getting into coffee for the first time, I'm really going to encourage you to follow someone like Lance Hedrick or James Hoffman, some of those big pros, and look into how coffee's made. Do a lot of research. A lot of great roasters will even kind of talk about their process. And it's just really cool. I have so much respect for those who produce coffee because it's really a hard crop. And there's a lot of love and a lot of care that goes into every bean that you all consume. And it's just cool. It's a cool process. And you really should, take the time to learn more about it if you haven't yet. And if you have, it's just so cool. It fascinates me so much. Okay, so let's go ahead. We changed out. It's still a 20-gram basket. Let's go ahead and I lowered this down a tiny bit. Another reason why it could have got stalled out is that that basket, it just could have been more fine. Again, it goes back to that flow. Almost there. Nice. Alrighty, let's go ahead. Let's try this one more time. So I could even feel this is nice and hot, even just spinning that time in there. It's wild. Okay. Yeah, let's use the MH Bomber WT beer. I was gonna laugh because, I go crazy on this thing. It's too much. Probably shouldn't even do it like that. Let's go ahead and grab the distributor. And guys, just remember when you're doing your distribution, you don't need to press down like crazy. It's not tampering. Okay. Oh, so hot. Okay. Let's get this nice and clean. All right. Let's see what results we get now. All right. Let's pull this back a little bit. Okay, cool. Oh my goodness, I did it again. I just realized I didn't flip it back over. So that's the one thing I do notice about this machine. It's the going back from the steam mode and kind of making that switch. That gurgling sound you're hearing is probably the three-way solenoid just switching everything over, then putting that excess water into the drip tray. So that's the only thing. Going from going from pulling your shot to steaming is super fast. But my only complaint that I've had about this machine so far is that you do go from steaming to pulling a shot. There is that typical what you're going to get from a thermal block. There is that time. That is a difference. So if you pull your shot, then steam your milk, you're pretty much really good and golden. It's super fast, but I do find kind of going back from steam, going right over. Again, I don't do a lot of milk drinks. I just don't. I wish my wife has me do them every now and then for her, but that's pretty much the experience I get at home doing it. All right, we should be good to go here in just a sec. Yeah, if there's ever a machine that y'all want me to try to get, definitely please let me know. I'm always more than or any suggestions. If there's anything you want me to make a video on, I'm always really happy to do that. That's something, I look forward to things like that. If there's ever a question y'all have, and definitely if you guys are watching this and you're one of my subscribers, feel free follow me on Instagram. Like, I love that. I love when folks send me pictures of their home setups and what they use, and I get to follow you on Instagram. That's like one of my favorite things possible. So, okay, so let's go ahead and pull this. Okay. Yeah. Ooh, that pressure. Again, it went too fine. It's gonna work. I know it's going to go through, but it's not what I wanted. Again, this is one of the things I'm telling you guys I find is a really big difference between my flat burr. Yeah, I did it again. Oh my goodness gracious. So you can see how easy it is. I'm going to just tell you guys this right now, okay? I love the upgrade I did to the multi-purpose burrs. Here's the, again, stock burrs. These flat burrs, they're not as forgiving, okay? But they're worth it. I really love what I get out of this, and I really love what I get just using flat burrs in general. But I mean, I can tell you right now, especially if you're getting new beans, and or let me just say this, if you're starting with espresso kind of for the first time, going conical, I actually don't think is a bad thing. I think going conical could be a really great way because I do kind of find conical burrs can be a little more forgiving when it comes to when you're dialing in your stuff. This is a little more sensitive. If you go just a little bit more, I mean, you could be really pushing it like I just did right now. So if I went, and again, remember I did change the basket. So that could be it too. It could be the basket. Let's do one last thing here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, obviously empty this out. I feel a little embarrassed because I normally don't choke the machine so much. That's normally not a thing. But I'm also kind of switching machines. I just switched machines, switching beans and everything. So that, again, that's kind of the thing, y'all. You know, when you do your dialing in process, you're going to have to, well, anytime you switch all those variables, you're going to have to dial in. So let's do this, okay? Let's go ahead. And this is what we call wasting beans. I just did two. It kills me. I hate wasting my beans. Oh my goodness. But these are new, so hey, it happens, right? I'm not used to using these. Let's go ahead, and again, I'm doing 20-gram shots. Oh my goodness. I will like to say, guys, I did get these for an incredibly good deal on Amazon. They were like $6.50. So I don't feel too bad, but, and I was also kind of in the mood. Sometimes I try out new stuff, guys. I feel kind of guilty for saying this, but if it's something I don't absolutely love, or maybe it would be a good pour over, I have a teenager who's really into coffee, so I'll literally just hand my beans to my son and be like, "Hey, bro, your son, enjoy this, you know, have at it." And we have a Molite grinder in the kitchen. He uses his timer grinder and his manual grinder. And we do a lot of pour overs with the ratio or doing V60s or, gosh, doing so many different types of, we make a lot of coffee in this house. There's just no other way to say it. I have made a little coffee fanatic. Okay, so these, I'm actually going to put this, and I'm going to do it at a 7. We're going to do the conical here, okay? We're going to swap this up a little bit because I want to kind of just test this out a little bit. So let's go ahead. Yeah, I'm reading your comment, Alexis. Yeah, definitely. That's the thing. I mean, once you kind of mess around with that, this is definitely a dark roast, and it is way different than light for sure. Um, hey, some dude. Appreciate you stopping by. All right, cool. Yeah, this grinder is really awesome. I love the fact that it comes with stock burrs up. I mean, stock blower. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's swap this out. Let me clear this as I drop cups. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm so limited in space, y'all. It came out nice and clean. Not as clean as I like. Okay. Again, same effect there, like I was talking about. You know, that's the difference between using these systems. You know, a lot of these commercial even setups, you know, you go into a cafe and you put coffee in and you don't pull your shot immediately, you could burn your coffee. So that's kind of the difference. You know, a lot of the budget home stuff, because it's using a thermal block and not the group head isn't necessarily getting hot. You know, I know from my experience, like the Toonie, it was E2 and the Hybrew H10B. I have it. I have it right next to me over here. You know, that stuff you don't have to necessarily worry about. And with a system like this, you got to think about that. I forget about it sometimes, so that's kind of why I mention it. I'm going to go ahead and just put this back up here for a sec. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll do it like this. Yeah, there's a magnetic portion on that. There we go. Go ahead and do the distribution. Make a little mess. Give it a little tamp. And I'm definitely going to clean this one up just a tiny bit here. There we go. See how this bad boy does. See if we get better luck, y'all. Crossing my fingers. Yeah, it's always amazing to me. Okay. Turn that on. Okay, let's pull the shot. I do notice that this machine uses a lot of power. I don't have the best. You can see the lights flicker, and no, it's not haunted. Definitely way difference on that flow. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna try to stop it at 32. So a little bit slower, but still way different. Okay, well, it stopped it for me. So 31 and 30 seconds, I'll take it. I forgot that I was using the volumetrics on this thing. That was a single shot. That's typically what was going on there. So let's give us a little bit of a stir, and that was definitely better results. So definitely gotta dial in. Gotta dial in. Alrighty, let's go ahead and put this on the refractometer. These beans are definitely, there wasn't a roast date on the beans, so these are definitely commodity style. Always try to look for something with a roast date, but guys, this was such a good deal, and I kind of had a craving for something like this. I don't know if you ever get that, but I definitely do. 14.58. I just wanted something good and strong. You know, I've been having a lot of light roast, so I kind of wanted to mess around with that and do some pour overs with some good strong coffee. But cheers, y'all. There we go. Not a super ton of crema. Wow, what a difference in the mouthfeel going from this grinder to the other grinder. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm going to tell you right now, I actually prefer the shot on the Charter 64 versus the high brew. Okay, the high brew is not bad, but it's not quite the same clarity. It's definitely a little more. I don't want to say muddy, but cohesive is the word I'm thinking of. It's not bad. It's just different. This would be like a good stock shot. Maybe it's the basket. Still delicious, but not quite as good as the other one. The other one was like gave that really good mouthfeel where you're just kind of like I don't know, makes you a little like kind of almost like salivate, like yeah, kind of like ooh, thirsty for more. And this one was more like satisfying, kind of traditional style. So I guess that's the best way to put it. But y'all, there is a big difference between. I get asked the question a lot: do you go with conical or do you go with flat? I'm always going to say is flat definitely is the more forgiving, and if you're new to coffee, it's probably where I'm going to recommend it. If you are kind of that seasoned pro, that home barista, definitely go with something flat. DF64. Oh, there's so many good ones. Timor has an amazing one. I really want to try Gevy's. I actually was reaching out to Gevy, see if I could try to get one of their grinders. Y'all, there's so many great options out there. But by far, this has been the cheapest, most dependable one I've ever found. So, and of course, get yourself a hand grinder. This is one that's very suited for pour over. This is the Timor S3. It's definitely more pour over. There's a lot of good ones. I have the Fantex, and I have a Mavo Wizard right here, which is really good for espresso and pour over. So you guys, there's a lot of good options out there. Definitely do your research. Hey, y'all, I really appreciate you hanging out with me. My name's Tony. You're watching Faith and Coffee Bean. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and y'all have a really great weekend, and thanks so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. And again, follow me on Instagram, and if you have time, if you're looking for any gear, I do put it on my Amazon storefront. Those are affiliate links, so it does help support the channel. So I definitely always appreciate that. And y'all have a great one. Have a good weekend, okay?